and welcome. 1st of September, and as promised, I'm keeping the vlogging everyday thing going. I thought we could call it, the best I could come up with on the spot was Q&A day. If you think of a better name and you don't want money for letting me use it, let me know. Well, 99.7% chance that I'll change it. So yeah, here's the plan. When I was at a conference, I wrote down all these questions that people might ask me about social media and stuffs, and I never really got around to answering all of them, so we're just going to pick one and we're just going to answer it. So the first one is, does the size of your social media marketing community matter? I love this question. Yes, it does matter, and anybody who tells you otherwise is lying to you, or I don't know, maybe they're a magician. I would like to meet them. The size of your community absolutely does matter, and I'll tell you why. Not everyone is going to convert into sales. You're on social media because you want sales as a business. That's your ultimate goal. You can say that you want to raise awareness, you want to attract opportunities, you want to do all this stuff, but as a business, your primary goal is to make monies, because if you don't make money, it's not a business, it's a hobby. So if your ultimate goal is to generate revenue for your business, and there might be different paths to getting you there, then you have to make sales on social happen. And it doesn't matter if the step that they're taking before the sale is email or a phone call or a blog or connecting on LinkedIn. It doesn't matter what the next step is. Not everybody in your social media community is going to convert, no matter how great a job you do. And so in order to get enough conversions that lead to results, you need to have a big enough audience, right? Just makes sense. If not everyone is going to convert, your audience needs to be big enough that enough people convert to justify the resources that you're putting into social media in terms of time, money, but time, money, skills, like learning new skills, if you're hiring other people, if you're using tools, all of the resources, you want a return on those resources. And so for it to be worth your while, you need to have a big enough community so that even if a small percentage convert, it's still generating enough of a return of what you're putting in for it to be worth it. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean you need to have a huge, massive community of hundreds of thousands of followers or anything like that. It also doesn't mean that quantity beats quality. That is never, ever, ever, ever the case, because nobody is going to convert if they're not targeted either. So you have to get that balance of saying you want to grow a large but targeted community, no matter what platform you're using. Now, there is some platforms where you don't need to have quite as big. You don't have to have things like Periscope converted really well when it came out because it was so intimate. So you didn't actually need to have the biggest audience in the world, but you just had to have some of an audience, and you would get a higher conversion rate on that. And that makes sense because it's the closest thing to person interaction. Whereas on Twitter, there's a lot of noise now and you have to put in a little bit more work. So you do need a little bit of a bigger community there if you are using it, and you have to be very active. So with that being said, if you want to grow a large targeted community, you have to think about the location, geographics, where they are located. You have to think about the demographics, age, sex, like typical, like do they have like a nice house and all of this stuff, the demographics. And you also want to think about, this is the most important element, the psychographics and the consumer buying behavior, all that sort of stuff. You need to know exactly who you're talking to, exactly who you're trying to reach, because if you know that, it becomes a lot easier to find those exact people, and then you can put in the work to build relationships. And as a result, over time, by you taking an interest in them and by creating really valuable content, they're going to start to take an interest in you, and that is how you grow your community online. So I kind of answered 2 questions in one, but the second one was a little bit, this is the thing, it's not going to be perfect, but that's the point of a Q&A a day. I hit record and I answer it. One thing I would say, you could use advertising, and there's lots of other ways that you can use to grow your community depending on the platform that you are using. That's another question for another day. The primary question here is, does the size of your community matter? It absolutely does. It has to be a large and targeted, quality and quantity. If you get that mix and you create wonderful content and you engage with people and you're providing value to your specific audience, you're hitting those pain points, you're getting that emotional investment that will lead to financial investment. And even if only a small percentage convert into sales, you will still see a return that is worthwhile because you've got a large enough audience size. 2% of 100 people convert, not going to be worth it. 2% of 1,000, possibly. It depends on your business. So I hope that aided your Q. I hope you like Q&A a day. Let me know in the comments below. I'm excited to do this every day. It is very babbly, and of course I added a lot of waffle in there for you, but I hope you also got your answer. Never forget that you have the power to change the world one connection and one conversation at a time. Much love from my heart to yours. I want to blow you a kiss, but you will see my bad nail vanish. Hopefully I'll speak to you soon. Oh, the click's still not working. I think I'm going to give up on this. Should we? Oh wait, it's working now. Bye!